and welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. And animal wrangling for us is one of our dedicated volunteers, Tammy. And our first guest is Aries. And Aries is a beautiful pit bull mix. He's got interesting coloring. He's blue, fawn, and white, and he's about 3 years old. Aries came to the shelter late September because unfortunately he was not getting along with other dogs in the home. And it's not uncommon for animals to kind of not get along either with one particular other dog or other animal in the home, or just to prefer to be your only pet. So if you're interested in Aries, what we would always recommend is if you have another dog in your home, to do a meet and greet. Bring your dog in, see if the two dogs are going to get along. It's not a 100% guarantee that they'll get along in your home if they get along here, but it does give you a good indicator if their interaction is going to be something that you can work with, or if it's something that's just going to be detrimental to both animals. But you know, given the fact that that he was brought here was because he was not doing well with the other dog in the home, he would probably do better in a home where he was your only dog. Things that the previous owners told about us: that he walks well on leash, he's very friendly, he's energetic. We have behavior assessed him, as we do all our dogs here at Animal Control. He could use a little work with house training. His kennel's not always clean, but he again is very friendly. Here in our kennel environment, he does bark and growl and grab at the fence when he's walking by the other dogs, which is just another, kind of, we're seeing what his previous owner saw, that he didn't do great with other dogs. He can pull a little bit, so harnesses are always a great option for dogs, but he willingly lets go of objects. He has no issues with food aggression. He sits very nicely. He takes treats very nicely. He has a lot of potential. He just needs somebody to be patient and work with him and understand that he might, he wants to be the only person in your house that's going to get, the only animal getting all of that attention, and that's fine. You just have to realize that if Aries was your dog, then you might not be able to have multiple dogs. He has no experiences with cats that we know of, but he's a very handsome, sweet guy. He did well with strangers. He walked right in and sat down and was very comfortable. Interested in treats and toys. So if you're interested in seeing if he would be a good fit in your home, you can stop in and visit with him here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. We are open to the public 6 days a week. Our next guest is Kai, and he is a 5-year-old Siberian Husky mix. He's got the beautiful sable and white coat, and Kai is an example of one of the dogs that we kind of put restrictions on who can adopt him. We don't do that to be difficult. We do that because we are concerned about the animals and the people of Frederick County. We want to make sure that all of our animals are going to appropriate homes where they're going to be well cared for and they're not going to get hurt or hurt anybody, and that all the families in the community are getting dogs and cats, for that matter, that they're going to be able to handle and train well, and they're not going to have to worry about relinquishing them back to us in a very short period of time. Kai, we would like his new owners to have Husky experience, and we would prefer that they have older children. That generally means over the age of 12, or be an adult-only home. And Kai came to us because his owner said that he had too much energy now for them since they have young children in their home. He has lived with a cat before. He's done well with strangers, men, women. He came out for the show today, never really interacted with me, licked my hand, was more concerned with all of the different smells and stuff in the area, in the room, rather than the fact that he's around new people that he's never been around with before. His previous owners say that he's very playful, energetic, friendly, that he rides well in the car, and he's used to getting baths. They did say that he could be a digger, that he could be nervous when left alone, has a touch of separation anxiety, so that's something you want to make sure that you're prepared to deal with. They also say that he can be a roamer and a wanderer, so making sure that you have you know, a fenced-in yard for him to be in that's with a high enough fence, or that he's always on some sort of leash harness so that he can't run and get away. They also noted that he does not like to have his feet touched. So when you're trimming his nails and stuff like that, he needs to be muzzled so that, you know, he's just not gonna nip, because he just doesn't like that, and that's not uncommon for many dogs. So that's why we want to make sure we go to a home where they're going to be able to handle all of those little quirks, so that, you know, Kai can have a nice, long, healthy life with a family who loves and understands him. If big dogs aren't your thing and you prefer something a little smaller, we have plenty of small dogs to choose from at the shelter right now as well. This is one of those dogs. This is Bailey, and she's about 6 to 7 years old, and she's a rat terrier mix. She is also one of those dogs where we're recommending that she go to older children or an adult-only home. And Bailey is an example of one of the animals, when you're coming in, you need to make sure that you're really reading the medical. Bailey is very sweet. She has a lot of great qualities, but she also has some medical concerns. She has some small masses, some mammary masses that we're looking into, but you want to make sure that you understand all of the medical for the animals that you're thinking about adopting, because once they leave here, they're your responsibility. So you need to make sure that you can provide them with all of the care they need, you know, whether it's emotionally, physically, or just financially. So that's something that you're going to need to look into. Those things may or may not be something that we are going to take care of while she's here, depending on how long. So those tumors would need to be removed, they would need to be biopsied, and then we or owners will be able to move forward from that point. The previous owner said that they brought Bailey in because she breaks out of the yard with a chain link fence. So she, like many rat terriers, can escape. You know, they, you know, nose to the ground. You can see right now she's very interested in all the smells and things, but she's playful, she's energetic, she walks well on leash, she rides well in the car. She's a digger, roamer, wanderer, which are breed characteristics. So if you're familiar with the breed, those won't be big deals for you. But also she's very food motivated, so she can be trained. You can teach old dogs new tricks. You just have to have the right methodology. And she loves treats, and so she's willing to learn for those things. We've had volunteers working with her here in the shelter on sit and watch me and find your food and some other things like that. So she has plenty of time to learn those things and be a great companion for any family. She has been around some dogs, she's been around cats, so there's a lot of great things about her, but she does need work on, you know, escaping and things like that. And if you have a dog that's prone to getting out of your fence, just put her out on a leash, take her out and walk her. You can get long 30-foot leads, so that, you know, you have a hold of her and you can keep track of what she's doing, but she still feels like she's got the ability to roam free in the yard. But if you're interested in visiting with her, you can see her here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, here at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. We have several puppies available for adoption right now, and Honey is one of those. She's about 8 to 10 months old, and she is a red brindle and white Doberman mix. She is another one of the dogs that we're hoping to place in a home with older children or adults only. That's mainly because Honey is a very shy and nervous dog. She's very sweet and very affectionate, but she takes some time to warm up to people. We don't want to put her in a home where there's going to be children that maybe don't understand, dog body language and things like that. She's not going to necessarily like a lot of loud noises and fast movements around her. We want to give her time to warm up to people, and then feel a little bit more comfortable. We received Honey and her sister Coco, who is also the same age, because the previous owners were just unable to keep them. So Honey is used to being with another dog. She's used to being with Coco. But again, when you're introducing two dogs and hoping to adopt another one into your home, we recommend that dog meet and greet just to see how they're going to do. It says that Honey is very playful and very energetic. She's friendly. She walks nicely on a leash. She rides well in a car. Her previous owner says that she is both house trained and crate trained. However, when you're adopting a dog that's been living in the shelter in a kennel environment, it is important to retrain them to be house trained. They get accustomed to the fact that they can go in their kennels here, so they need just a little bit of positive reinforcement to get them back in that habit of, I have to go outside to go to the bathroom now. It says that she likes bones and stuffed animals. As far as our assessment and what we've seen about her, is that, again, she's very, very sweet, but she is shy and she's nervous, and she needs somebody that's going to be patient with her. She's very friendly. She reacts favorably to other dogs, but it kind of depends on the dog when she's outside. She can bark, and if they initiate, then she can react and aggressively if someone initiates that aggressive behavior with her. She has no issues with food aggression. They saw that she didn't really like chew at toys, but she liked to paw at them and play with them. And once she gets comfortable, she really enjoys being petted, and she'll lean in. You can stop in and visit her here at the shelter. We are open on Monday, Tuesday, and Fridays. The kennels are open from 10 to 5. On Wednesday and Thursday, they're open from 12 to 8. And on Saturday, they're open from 10 to 4. The last dog that we have for you today is adorable little Theo, and he is about 10 weeks old. He is one of 3 puppies that are terrier mixes that we have right now that are looking for new forever homes. All of our puppies, that includes the small guys like Theo here, and then the older puppies like Honey, go through and are adopted through what we call our puppy process. That means that we take up to 4 applications for them, and we choose the best fit for the dog. Puppies are a lot more work than an adult dog, especially ones as small as Theo. They don't know anything, and they rely totally on their owners to teach them to go to the bathroom outside, to sit, to not counter surf, to not jump on people, to not bite, to all of these things. So you have to be prepared when you're taking on a puppy to give them all of that training and care that they need. It's a lot of work. It's like having a child, a young child, a baby in your house. So we want to make sure that everyone is prepared to do that when they're coming in to adopt a puppy. So we ask more questions on that puppy application, and our adoption fee for puppies is also larger. We charge normally for an adult dog $92.50, but for puppies we charge $150. They require a lot more care, and they're also a bigger responsibility, so we want to make sure people are prepared to take that on. Because he is so young, we don't have a behavior assessment for Theo because puppies are constantly changing and growing. We don't really know what he's going to be yet, but we do have a medical for him. He has received 2 of his distemper vaccines in that series. He's had his Bordetella vaccine. He's been dewormed. We've given him flea and tick preventative, heartworm medication, all that type of stuff that he needs has been listed here on his medical sheet, which is a requirement to read before you would visit with Theo or any of the other animals that are available on the adoption floor. We also do not color code dogs this young. Most of our dogs that get behavior assessments are at least 6 months old or older. But Theo is a very handsome guy. Again, he is one of 3 puppies that are from this litter that are available for adoption. There's 2 males, Theo, and then his brother Truman, and then his sister Star. The other 2 already have at least 1 application apiece, and Theo is unfortunately the only one that hasn't gotten someone that's interested in him yet, which is why he's on the show today. That's going to wrap it up for the dog portion of our show. If you stay tuned after the break, we're going to introduce you to several of the cats and kittens that are looking for new homes here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center as well.
Did you know that paper towels, as well as disposable cups, plates, and cutlery, are not recyclable? Not even styrofoam coffee cups or fast food soda cups that may have a so-called recycling symbol stamped on the bottom. In our region, there is no market for these materials to be sold and made into new products, so please leave them out of your recycling cart or bin. Better yet, whenever possible, try to use reusable cups and servingware. More information on recycling and waste reduction can be found online, on our mobile app, or by calling our office. Thanks for helping Frederick County recycle right.
If you're more of a cat person, and this is the portion of the show for you, we are going to introduce you to 6 cats today that are looking for a new forever homes. And the first one is Kinsey. Despite her kind of small size, she is 3 to 4 years old. She is a beautiful Dilute Tortie. Now, torties, you know, it's the blacks and tans and oranges, and they're kind of not like the calico with the patches, but it's kind of all blended in. And the Dilute Tortie just means that it's kind of a whitewashed color. So you get kind of the gray lilac color, the light kind of tans and creams instead of those darker blacks and oranges. She's got a beautiful coat. And she's very friendly, very affectionate. Kinsey is color-coded blue, which means that she's kind of very affectionate. You can kind of do whatever, and she kind of goes with the flow. But one thing about Kinsey that we have learned about her since she's been here in the shelter is that she's very chatty and very talkative. So if you're looking for a quiet cat, Kinsey might not be the right fit for you. She likes to tell people when she wants attention. She will ask for it. She will reach out for it. She will tell you when she's unhappy. So that's just something to look forward to. If you're taking Kinsey home, you'll definitely know that she's there. Her presence won't go unnoticed. She has already been spayed. We make sure all of our animals are spayed or neutered before they leave here. So that's cats, dogs, and rabbits. She's already received her rabies vaccine, her distemper vaccine. We deworm all of the cats and dogs that come into the shelter. She's had her flea and tick preventative. So she should be a relatively quick turnaround for anyone looking to adopt her. She did come to us as a stray, so really all we know is what we've learned about her here in the shelter environment. Again, like I've said before, our volunteers are a great resource. If they're in, you can kind of see them interacting with the cats. If there's someone that kind of strikes your interest, you can ask them. They spend a great deal of time interacting with them. And can tell you, who likes to be cuddled, who's more playful, who wants to sit on a lap. All of that stuff, they'll be able to help you find out and figure out which is the best animal for your home. Our cats are adopted for a fee of $97.50. That includes all the medical things that we've talked about, as well as microchipping, free well visit to the vet. But because Kinsey does have those orange tones in her, during the month of October, if you were to apply for her, you would get a $20 discount in your adoption fee. So if Kinsey is someone that you're interested in making part of your family, don't miss out on that opportunity. You want to come in during the month of October and visit with her. We have animals of all ages here at the shelter. We have young kittens, we have young puppies, we have older dogs, and we have older cats as well. And Mary Kate is the oldest cat on the adoption floor right now. She is 13 years old. She is a beautiful brown tabby with white, and she's also front declawed. So a lot of things about Mary Kate that we know. Because she's front declawed, she really needs to be in an indoor-only home. It's dangerous and not for her to be able to go outside and not have that primary method of defense to protect herself. So we definitely want to make sure that she's staying inside. Something else that you might notice about her is that she's on the large side. We have her listed as overweight, borderline obese even. So if you were to adopt Mary Kate, she is a totally sweet, blue color coded lap cat, but she would need to be on a diet and she would need to be getting some exercise. So whether you're using a string toy or a laser pointer or something to get her down to a good weight. because she is so large, we've observed that she's had some difficulty in the ability to groom herself. So she had some mats on her back, which we've clipped off, which is kind of why there's some shave marks down her back. That's the only reason. So if you were also taking her home, making sure that she's getting brushed regularly to help, helping her keep herself nice and clean. There are different kind of wipes and things that you can help to make sure that she's staying her coat nice and clean and healthy, just until she's able to shed enough weight that she can really groom herself and take better care of herself. As soon as we brought her out, she settled right in onto a lap. She's showing Tammy where she likes to be petted. She's purring. She's very content. She wants to be a nice lap cat. She's going to be the perfect cat for maybe an older person who just wants somebody to hang out and keep them company all day. But, older cats can do well in a lot of different environments. But generally, they're used to being in kind of quieter homes. They kind of enjoy that. They don't have as much energy as the young kittens. They don't want to be, running around chasing your kids all day. This is what Mary Kate really wants, just to get petted and cuddled on and loved on all day long. Because she is 13 years old, she's going to be adopted for our senior fee. So when animals come in, if they're ages 5 to 9, they get a $20 reduction in their adoption fee. When they are 10 to 14, they get a $40 reduction in their adoption fee. So instead of being $97.50, Mary Kate would be adopted for a fee of $57.50. Our next guest is Jerry. He's about 6 months old. He's been with us since early September, still looking for his new forever home. His brother, Ben, is getting adopted, but Jerry's still looking for his forever home. So we're hoping to get him adopted quickly. Since he has orange coating as well, his markings are all orange. He is also going to be adopted for $20 off during the month of October. So there's still a few days left. There's plenty of time to stop in and visit with any of our little pumpkins and make them part of your pumpkin patch at home. Jerry is a classic orange tabby, and what that means is that instead of having lots of kind of line stripes, he has kind of circles on him. So that's a great way to identify them. There's actually 3 to 4 different types of tabby cat markings on the animals that are in the shelter environment, or any cat for that matter, so it kind of helps to identify. There's the spotted, the classic like Jerry, then there's the mackerel. So that can be a very important characteristic to know and understand if your animal were to become lost. So then we can definitely tell this one is not yours, this one is yours. We test all the cats and kittens that come in to the shelter for feline leukemia and feline AIDS, and Jerry tested negative for both of those things. We always recommend that you do a retest just to make sure and verify that that is the correct information after about 90 days, because there are incubation periods for those illnesses, and we want to make sure that these are not false negatives. According to the previous owner, Jerry was just born at their house on their property. They kept him for a while, but they were unable to keep the 2 brothers. So he's been around other cats. He's been around children that are over the age of 12. He's very playful. He's very energetic. He's very independent. He's just kind of a typical kitten. He has that high energy. And since he's only 6 months old, he's kind of a big guy, he's probably going to be a big, nice cat for somebody to love on and cuddle on. So if you want to make Jerry part of your family, again, you can stop by the shelter. That's the first step, just visiting him here in his cage, and then you would fill out an application. It takes 2 to 5 days to process those applications. But before you can get to that far, you have to stop in and visit. You can do that by coming in here, 1832 Rosemont Avenue. Next up, we have our mother-son duo, Millie and Billy. So sitting on my lap, the black and white tuxedo is Millie, and she's about 1 to 2 years old. And then Tammy has the gray and white Billy. He's about 3 months old. These guys are in a cage together, but they are not bonded. They don't have to be adopted together. They're just kind of hanging out, keeping each other company. But if you did want to take both of them, that's something that's very easy to do, and you do get a $20 discount when you adopt more than one. So again, Millie's 1 to 2 years old, so she's full grown. She's pretty petite, but she's she likes being petted. She likes being handled and held. It's a little nerve-wracking for them to get pulled out of their cages and brought out here to a place that they're not really familiar with. So she's a little antsy, but not too bad. And then Billy's just a typical kitten. He likes to play and explore. He's rambunctious. He comes right to the front of the cage and greets you. He's climbing his cage. He wants to get out and play and explore and be part of a family. And whether you wanted to incorporate Millie and Billy together as a pair, they do love each other. They cuddle together. Billy still kind of cuddles up and kind of sucks on his mom a little bit. He definitely gets some comfort from her being there. But again, they're not required to go together. These guys came to us previously owned. But it doesn't look like we have any profiles for them, so we don't really know that much. We're kind of figuring it out as we go along. If you're looking for, that older cat that's kind of more set as far as her personality, but you like that kind of kitten look, Millie's a great option. Millie and Dixie both actually kind of have the similar markings, but they're just petite girls. They're not going to get any bigger than this. So they have that kind of forever kitten face. If you wanted to adopt these guys, Millie and Billy both would be adopted for a fee of $97.50. Again, we would includes all of the medical stuff that we've already talked about today. But if you wanted to take both of them home, you would get $20 off for doing that. You could stop in and visit with them at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, located at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. The last guest that we have for you today is Chester. And despite the fact that he is only 5.5 months old, Chester is actually one of our longest residents here at the shelter. He started out in foster care because he was too young to be made available for adoption. But then he came back, went on the adoption floor in August, and still has not found his forever home. He is a very, very sweet guy. In his cage where he's comfortable and he's been for a while, he's just your typical kitten. He likes to run around and play. He takes his little cat naps. He loves to be cuddled and held, petted. He's a fantastic cat. We recently took him to an event that was outside, and we learned a lot about Chester. We learned that Chester is really afraid of loud noises. He does not like loud truck noises or motorcycle noises. Sometimes even really loud, like laughing and shouting can scare him. So Chester would probably do best in a home that's relatively quiet, or a home where people can be patient and let him get used to things slowly, and then start gradually increasing the noise in the home. He just hasn't been exposed to a lot of that stuff, and it's a little scary. So we definitely want to make sure that he's going to go to a home where he feels comfortable, and his new family feels comfortable. But he loves to be held, and if he does get scared when you hold him close to you, kind of swaddle him, it makes him feel safe, and he kind of settles in a little bit. But again, he's going to make a great pet. He loves to run around. He loves to play. He's happy right now sitting on Tammy's lap. He's kind of kneading a little bit, showing her where he wants to be rubbed, kind of showing his playful side a little bit, which is what we want. He's a kitten. He wants to get out and explore and play, but he just is going to need that quieter home to make him feel comfortable. That's going to wrap it up for this week's edition of Pet Pals. Tune in next week to find out what other animals are looking for their new homes here at FCAC.